Really, because Nirvana has quite a strong force there, but I mean, all these bunkers just will absolutely rip him up if he goes anywhere close to that expansion. Of course, though, he does have the gold, so he can happily sit back, build up all these High Templars, and just drop these storms on top of him. So, I like Nirvana's position so far, but we'll have to sit tight as yeah, they just kind of build up their units.
Yeah, this is a really good situation for Nirvana, but basically a little bit of luck with the first timing and a really good harassment with his Phoenixes, which are picking up in their RedArchon scout right now. He has been able to hide this expansion relatively good, and it's just giving him such a massive income advantage right now. He's at 53 over 38 harvesters, at 1400 over 1000, and that's comparing to RedArchon, who's been calling down a bunch of mules. So this is a pretty bad situation for RedArchon because he's behind economically, and it's really allowed Nirvana to diversify his unit composition. He's got all these High Templars, which now have the energy for Psystorm. Interestingly, he hasn't got this Kadarian Amulet research yet. It's only just now nearing completion, so that's going to make a big difference for Nirvana because he'll be able to warp in Templars that can Psystorm immediately. Finally, we see the scan on the gold going off. Finally, RedArchon realizes the mistake of having it there, and we are seeing him push out. A little bit of an emergency desperation move here from RedArchon, bringing all of his defenses, emptying his bunkers and everything to throw it at this gold expansion. And it's a pretty bad situation here for Nirvana because he's going to have to hold this, but he's held it for so long. He has got pretty good value. It's just going to come down to these Psystorms as we see these two armies approaching towards each other.
Yeah, this one High Templar is out of position. It gets the storm off though before he gets smashed by those siege tanks. So, bit of mismicro there, but RedArchon now got these siege tanks by the Xel'Naga Watchtower, so powerful as all Nirvana's units are getting ready to attack. Needs to do something quickly. He's moving out. They've got Zealot leg charge. The storm goes straight on top of RedArchon's units. It's a fantastic storm there, pushing him back. Bit of micro with Stimpack, picking off a lot of units. More storms going down. Oh man, so many storms. These Zealots getting into the fray. The stim is wearing off now. These medevacs trying desperately to keep healing. He does push Archon back as he's regrouping once again as more units come in, but oh man, so many storms.
Yeah, a bunch of Marauders picking off these stray Zealots who soaked up a bunch of that tank damage. Finally, the last tank from RedArchon going down. A lot of losses on both sides. No real winner from that fight, but Nirvana did hold it off and his expansion didn't go down. So that's a bit of a loss for RedArchon. Meanwhile, he's slipped off 3 of his medevacs and he's going to drop the main of Nirvana. Psystorm going off on these medevacs a little bit too early there. Hit more probes than it did RedArchon's units, and he's splitting nicely his units in 3 different locations so that they'll be split up for the Psystorms. And he's really going to work on the main of his base. Meanwhile, Nirvana is attacking this front line of RedArchon, picking off these last couple of units really in the red here. There's a couple of Marauders on the cliff, making a bit of a difference and forcing Nirvana's units to flee here. And Nirvana's main base going down, his Nexus going down, warping in a bunch of Zealots with that charge to try and do it, but nice shoot and scoop there by RedArchon. He really takes control back. Meanwhile, RedArchon is pushing out to this Xel'Naga once again, looking like he may go straight in, but these Phoenixes going to work on these medevacs, trying to be denied by these Marines. Not too many units here for Nirvana to defend. Nice Psystorm going off on a bunch of them, but RedArchon's pulling back nicely. A few more Zealots warping in. Meanwhile, we are seeing this Psystorm's going off on this drop, while this very, very vulnerable siege tank is trying vainly to try and finish it off, but these Zealots are getting towards it now. Meanwhile, on the other side, the drop finally wearing down as Archon walks in and finishes that off. So Nirvana, despite losing his main, was almost mined out there anyway. So he's not in such a terrible situation, and RedArchon's still on 2 bases with a fair chunk of unspent minerals. So imagine he's going to be able to generate a huge ball of infantry, but it's just a case of Nirvana, who's got his 3rd expansion coming on right now, and he still holds this gold, which has still got a significant chunk of minerals, not that close to being mined out yet. So pretty good situation for Nirvana, despite the fact he got a significant amount of damage in that drop, and he is now in front, seeing this 3rd base of RedArchon going up, and nice scouting there by Nirvana. His probe picking this up, seeing exactly what's going on. So I imagine that Nirvana, if he can deny that expansion from RedArchon, will be in really, really good shape.
Some Immortals now coming on the field for Nirvana as more siege tanks, more Marauders, more Marines continue to be flooded on the field by RedArchon. Just quickly looking at the income tab though, I mean, RedArchon is now starting to really pull ahead with a couple of those mules there, as Nirvana's just trying to get his bases up and running once again. He's got a lot of harvesters though, so you know, the drop really didn't do that much, but RedArchon is pulling ahead slightly as of right now. So I have to sit tight as there's a bit of little micro with this Zealot just hanging out by the Xel'Naga Watchtower with this one High Templar. But man, just trading a lot of blows right now. They're just a lot of Archons, a lot of Zealots running across the field, but they're just really rebuilding right now after the massive losses they took.
Yeah, RedArchon's rebuilding his command center, trying to retake that situation, and he's in a really quite a very strong defensive point. Anyway, with the ramp is just basically a fortress for Terran. But he's pushing out here. These stray Zealot and High Templar are really going to have to evacuate, otherwise they're going to go become puddles on the floor very, very quickly. But scan going off there for RedArchon. He spent a lot of his resources on this scan, while we're seeing this stray Zealot and Immortal being picked off. Bit of a blunder there by Nirvana, losing such a valuable unit. But he is sieging up in the middle of the map, possibly even thinking about taking the gold here, taking this strong point position, spreading his tanks out, and we are seeing more tanks, even Hellions getting involved to try and counter all these Zealots. But looking like Nirvana is not interested. He's thinking about pushing out here. He does have that Xel'Naga Watchtower coming nicely to on the left side, not going too close to not going tank range until he has the Archon soaking up the tank damage, letting his Zealots close. The charge going off, bunch of Psystorms on top of the tanks, nicely avoided by RedArchon, but the second Psystorm goes off in the middle of the Marauders. He's in huge trouble here. There's so many Zealots working on these tanks, and RedArchon's forces are split. One more tank trying to reinforce, but being cut off, and these Zealots are going to work on this potential expansion from RedArchon. RedArchon's Marauders now trying to kite these Archons. One Archon's shields are down, and he gets fried. Shields very, very low for this Archon. He needs to get out of there. Both Archons go down, so the tanking units that were damage soaking for Nirvana are going down. Nirvana does get this expansion, but the fight goes to RedArchon. So RedArchon, if he can reinforce him effectively, and he is, bunch of Hellions coming out, he could possibly think out a counter push to try and do some damage as Nirvana takes his fourth. So Nirvana's really on top of his macro right now. We are seeing Nirvana not interested in falling behind though, going and pushing, being aggressive right now, while these Hellions make their way towards the expansions, and these Templars so crucial in that fight. It'll be interesting to see whether RedArchon's going to pull these Hellions back or can commit to the harass. Looking like Nirvana trying to work his way towards RedArchon's main here, but these Marauders on the cliff distracting him just a little bit, and this I don't know where this command center is going. It is going to get fried by these Stalkers, finally turning around, and RedArchon's down on the low ground. This is a bit unfortunate for him. It's going to be really hard to take this unit composition. Siege tanks caught out of position, Storm going off, and a bunch of them losing so many hit points to those siege tanks, not caught in siege, not in siege mode at all. Terrible situation for RedArchon. Bringing more reinforcements, Hellions and Marauders trying to work, while this line of Stalkers holds the line, pulling back, trying to get out of range of these siege tanks before they can siege up and do huge damage. So really nice execution here by Nirvana, while we see RedArchon moving still towards this gold expansion, which is now close to being mined out, so that if Nirvana does lose this here, loss will not be that devastating because he's got his worth out of it. And we're just seeing both players still in precarious situations. Nirvana holds the economically, but RedArchon's been winning the fights and pushing into this gold expansion. He doesn't really have much of a force. He's got these Stalkers warping in, a few more Zealots, a couple of Zealots getting strayly picked off there, a little bit of a mistake. Finally, we're seeing some High Templars join the party here, so Psystorm going to be crucial if he's going to attack these tanks. Looking like he's going to think about playing around from the left. No, he's pulling completely back while RedArchon takes this gold expansion. So, non-stop action here, and finally that gold expansion does go down, so finally Nirvana loses that gold expansion that he's got so much value out of.
You're right though, he did get so much use out of that gold expansion. It was almost mined out anyway, so Nirvana being on top of his macro has already got the next expansion up, so doing that very nicely. But yeah, they're just really just trading blows. RedArchon, mind you, has now taken his gold expansion, so it looks like they'll be back on level terms not too far as long as they can keep building up. But those Psystorms, oh man, doing so much damage and just really catching those siege tanks right out of position. They're just so damaging.
Yeah, a little bit of a emergency play there for RedArchon. He really had to take this expansion. Just looking at his income, his natural is almost mined out, and he got denied on his third. But these tanks doing lots of damage, getting good vision with the scan there, seeing these Templars finally come in, but lots and lots of damage going on. Pulling back behind the tank line, tanks being sacrificed to this army. He has still 2 more siege tanks alive, bringing the Immortal in to soak up the damage, and the Psystorms, so deadly. So many